stepping up, big pocket to run. He will. Across the 35, dives past the 30.
And Ed Hockley is taking Michael Vick out of the game. He did come up looking a little bit weak-kneed.
Landry Jones in a shotgun, sends a slant, caught by Bryant. At the 20 as the first down and more. Veering back across the field to the near side. He's at the 40, across midfield, puts it back left at the 20. Martavis Bryant is gone! An 88-yard touchdown, and that'll ice this one for Pittsburgh.
Our fear came to fruition. Michael Vick, who was starting in the place of the injured Ben Roethlisberger, was sidelined in the second quarter with a hamstring injury. Insert Landry Jones, who had never thrown a pass in the NFL prior to Sunday. Jones led his team to a win with 2 TD passes to Martavis Bryant, his first game back, of course, as well. Stephen A., will this be Vick's last game in the NFL?
I'm not going to go as far as to say it'll be his last game in the NFL, but I think it's over. I don't think we'll see Michael Vick as a starting quarterback anymore. And I'll be hard-pressed. I don't know how many backups could come in and look the way Landry Jones looked. Skip, I think Vick is officially the third-string quarterback. I don't even think it should be a consideration as to who the starting quarterback is going to be next week if Big Ben Roethlisberger is not available to play. It is clearly going to be Landry Jones, as well it should be. James Harrison echoed those sentiments. Le'Veon Bell and various other teammates echoed those sentiments, and that is the way that it should be. When I thought about Landry Jones coming into the game yesterday, throwing a touchdown pass to Martavis Bryant for, like, you know, what was it, 10 yards, 12 yards, and then he connected with him on that 88-yard hookup. I just thought Landry Jones did a phenomenal job, and I thought about you because you had watched him for those years at Oklahoma, and you kept telling me about him and how he was like a prototype of a poor man's version of Big Ben Roethlisberger. The size, the arm.
Emphasize poor man.
Poor man.
Go ahead.
Poor man.
Yeah.
Poor man.
Underline that.
Yeah, the size, the arm, the ability to see over the line of scrimmage. You talked about it from that perspective, and you said, what would the Steelers going to do with Michael Vick? Because Michael Vick is the complete antithesis of what Big Ben Roethlisberger is, whereas Landry Jones ain't Big Ben, but he can come in there and he has that type, you know, that style. He did what he was supposed to do and then some. He deserves a lot of credit for it. But this is not really about Landry Jones. This is about Michael Vick. Michael Vick completed 3 passes yesterday for 6 yards. Michael Vick was not moving the football. Once again, Michael Vick got tackled, okay? Seemingly innocuous tackle.
You're right.
And gets up looking a little bit woozy.
He did.
What have I been saying from day one for the last several years? It's almost like he's punch drunk. He's fragile, you know, and I don't wish it. I got nothing but love for him and who he is and what, you know, and what he has turned himself into. It's sad that it's coming to an end, but I do believe it's coming to an end. I believe talent-wise he can get on a multitude of NFL rosters. But then when I saw what happened yesterday, it lent itself towards me saying, well, if you're a football team, why take him? Because the slightest hit takes this guy out. You know, I mean, it was the hamstring, eventually. But before that, he was woozy on a play that, dare I say, was relatively normal for most NFL players. And so when you can look at it from that perspective, let's just call it what it is. He's inconsistent. He's not moving the offense. He's not getting it done. And on top of it all, he's miniature. And when those bodies get laid on him, when those hits get laid on him, he's woozy too. There's nothing to talk about here. I'm pleased, by the way, this kid, Chris Boswell, didn't miss a field goal yet, you know, for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He's been amazing, man.
You see, there are people who can actually hit field goals in Pittsburgh. I just want to point that out. Well, they don't have to be Scooby-Doo, you know, Scrubby.
I mean, the greatest kicker in Jacksonville history, that guy?
They don't have to be that guy. There are actually football field goal kickers that can actually hit a field goal. That's just the truth. Thank God he's not there. Otherwise, the Steelers would have lost some of these games. Okay, so with that being said, you know, look, again, you got this high-powered offense. They can do some things, yet they can't do anything when Michael Vick's behind center. That's not about them. That's about Michael Vick. Sad to say, but it's the truth.
Yep, it is the truth. Now, what could render this question obsolete is Ben about ready to play at Kansas City next Sunday?
I don't think he should be forced. I think you give Landry Jones a chance to go up in there and play.
Okay, at Kansas City? Man, I don't know.
Yeah, give him a chance. Let's see what he's got.
Okay. At halftime yesterday, the Pittsburgh Steelers at home had 1 passing yard.
1.
That's mind-boggling to me. I'm going to say this again. Michael Vick has been making Tim Tebow look accurate. That's how bad Michael Vick has been. Michael Vick was so bad yesterday that he made Landry Jones look like Big Ben Roethlisberger. That's what happened yesterday, that it was so bad that Landry Jones gets thrown into the fire. And if I can borrow an old Dallas Cowboy, famous old Dallas Cowboy line, Blaine Nye on Clint Longley, it was the triumph of an uncluttered mind. He said, I had no idea I was going to play today, hadn't thought about it. Gets thrown in, and it's like, oh yeah, what am I? Oh yeah, I should throw it to Martavis over there. Oh yeah, and he gets free. Oh, he ran whatever it was, 80 yards for a touchdown. So again, I like the way he played. I did not love him at the University of Oklahoma, and I did watch every play he played there. He is a poor man's Roethlisberger because he is so big. He's 6'4", 225 or so. His arm is average, okay? But he does know how to play a passing game offense. I'm not sure they can beat Kansas City with him at Kansas City.
I'm not sure they can either, but I'm saying you need to find out.
Yeah, okay, but let's not leap to the conclusion he's the savior of this team. For, okay, yeah, well, that would.
Whoa.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kidding.
What I would say to you is that I don't mind people leaping to that conclusion because it's not about him.
Yeah,
it's about how bad Michael Vick has been. You see what I'm saying? If it's like you said, if Michael Vick has been so bad he makes Tim Tebow look accurate, then that's what made Landry Jones look so good.
It did.
James Harrison, Le'Veon Bell, and those boys didn't leap to the anointment of Landry Jones because he was so spectacular. I mean, even the 88-yard touchdown pass to Martavis Brown. Martavis Brown made that play. That was a slant pass.
It was a 10-yard pass.
The 10-yard pass that he took
yards,
an additional 78 yards. It's just that 10-yard pass is pretty much better than almost anything that Michael Vick has done.
Agree.
Remember the Monday Night Football game? He connected Wheaton for a 72-yard touchdown pass. But for the most part, Michael Vick has just looked that bad, and I believe it's because he's that brittle. He's that fragile.
I agree.
He's taken too many hits. He just can't take them.
So, in the end, bottom line, I agree. Probably that was the last we're going to see of Michael Vick. I'm not sure anybody else will give him a shot now. Not sure about that. Hope I'm wrong. Maybe Mike Tomlin will keep him. But remember, on Mike Tomlin and Landry Jones, they drafted him in the 4th round. A lot of people thought he was going to be a 2nd rounder. He fell to the 4th. And Mike Tomlin had him for 2 years, had a long look at him in this preseason this year. Didn't love it, man, because when he had a shot to go get Michael Vick, he went and got him and immediately installed him as the backup quarterback. Well, so that's how little faith Mike Tomlin had in Landry Jones.
But I don't want to bring this up because I don't want to invite this conversation, but you've left me no choice. You know, you talk about preseason. You talk about practice. Well, what did he do in the game? There's somebody else that you used to bring up that wasn't the greatest practice player, but somehow when the game rolled around, they performed. So if it was all right for them to perform during the game, why take away from Landry what he was able to do during the
games in the preseason? Landry Jones was horrible in the preseason because I saw a bunch of it, and it was horrible.
But you know, to you and come on, man, to you and I, preseason is an extension of practice, man. I mean, come on now. We don't put much stock in that. It's about what happens between the lines when the games really count.
You know what?
Only nugget of evidence we have, Skip Bayless. Only nugget of evidence we have is what we saw from Landry Jones yesterday. So I say throw him into the Lions' den in Kansas City where a team has a week to prepare for him, see what he does, and let's discover what he's made of. Because there are other people in the past that you had no problem giving that opportunity to. Why we got to be nitpicky when it comes to Landry Jones?
Let me psychoanalyze what you're about right now. What is happening right now, America, is that this man, a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, born and raised, am I right about that? Since childhood.
That is correct.
You have leaped with both feet on the Landry Jones bandwagon because you're saying, maybe he can save us.
No, because I know that Big Ben Roethlisberger is going to be back back at the most in 2 weeks. He possibly could be back next week. I don't want Big Ben rushed back. I want to see what Landry Jones is made of against Kansas City. But let's not get it twisted. We know he's no Big Ben, and we know that Big Ben will probably be back the week after. All I'm trying to determine about Landry Jones is whether or not he is worthy of the praise and the accolades he received yesterday.
No.
That's all I'm trying to discover. I don't know. Like I said, I know you watch you watch them every day in Oklahoma. But I'm saying to you, where we draw a divide, when it came to your boy Tebow, practice, preseason, or you were like, throw that out the window. When it counted, what'd he do? And I'm saying, with Landry Jones, what did he do yesterday? Let's see what he has against Kansas City. Don't just go in the game because Michael Vick gets knocked out and then all of a sudden they got to prepare for some dude they haven't seen since Oklahoma. No. I get to prepare for you for a week.
They will.
We will be waiting for you in Kansas City.
Yep.
Throw him to the Wolves, and let's see what he's got.
Okay.
Let's see. This is the NFL. It's a man's game. Let's see what he's got. That's
Okay.
I'm saying I just want to find out. I'm not anointing him by any stretch. I want to find out what he's made of, and I think this is a nice opportunity to do so.
And by the way, your Steelers after the game at Kansas City have 3 straight home games.
Well,
one
that's
of them
Big Ben.
Cincinnati.
That's for Big Ben. That's for Big Ben. Big Ben will be back by then.
It's a huge win for your Steelers.
It's
2
huge.
games behind
I
the
didn't
Bengals
believe
now
they'd
in the
do it.
AFC North.
I didn't believe they would do it because of Michael Vick. I damn sure didn't expect to see some Landry Jones. Nevertheless, that Landry Jones.
Moving on, Peyton Manning barely got it done. He had another un-Peyton-like performance, yet the Broncos still rallied to stay perfect in overtime against the Browns. How long can Denver keep this up? We'll get into that next.